again, another store that's closed, as you can see. And this one is closed too. Hey yo, Nihon reporting from Japan. Today we have a typhoon kind of coming into town. There's a typhoon passing across this area, and I felt like wanted to record just a little bit to see. This is my first time just being in a typhoon actually here in Japan, so I know this is something that you shouldn't be doing, like going out, and you should be staying indoors as much as possible. But I did feel that this was a cool experience to just show you like what happens when there's a typhoon. Currently the typhoon that we are at is categorized as at number 7, whatever that means. It says like strong winds and whatever. There's been already a lot of effects, like they already closed a lot of trains. A lot of lines are just not operating. Currently I wanted to go to a supermarket, but actually the nearest supermarket was also closed because of the typhoon, so whoops. Man, so even the Uniqlo is closed. It's very tough to that. It's always filled with people. There's so much. Oh, this is so cool. The supermarket too, it's closed. Or supermarkets are temporarily closed. Obviously this one is closed too. Now it's really pouring, but I want to check if the convenience is actually open. I do know it's open. Corner is also open. Closed. Again, another store that's closed, as you can see on the sign. I think this one is like a library. Yep, so I guess it depends on the stores. They might be closed or not. What I can tell you though is a lot of places that were not taking like reservations as restaurants, stores. So, you know, obviously it's a big deal. You know, I'm working right now at a hotel, which I'm not gonna name, but I could tell you a lot of people were just telling us like it's not a big deal or shouldn't be that bad, but the reality is it's still a natural disaster. It's unpredictable, and the fact that I'm also out and about, it's not the best idea, but I thought it would be interesting to document it. I mean, this shopping line, right? This shopping district is usually like filled with businesses, but pretty close today. And obviously currently it's not as strong as it should be. I don't know if it's gonna get stronger, so I think this is just the right time to, you know, be out and about. Alright, I think that might have been enough of being out and about for today. Would you agree? Let's go back home and try to discuss a little bit about these topics. Hey yo, what up? So it's the next day and there hasn't really been any incident around the area where I live. The typhoon didn't turn out to be as bad at the very least as I was expecting. Of course there was a lot of wind and there were a few damages here and there, but there was nothing really serious at the very least, as I say, where I'm living. However, I did saw on the news that there were some damages around other prefectures. I believe Tottori and Wakayama were pretty affected. I believe there's also many areas that may have been affected with mudslides, or maybe with just rivers, you know, getting out of their capacity. All in all, I wanted to make this video because I was hearing a lot of people around where I'm working saying how it's just a typhoon, and obviously, you know, usually Japan tends to over-exaggerate about these things. But even though I did think that it was a little bit over-exaggerated, I don't think it's exactly something that should just be taken lightly. The reason is, Japan is just one of those countries that suffer from a lot of natural disasters, such as earthquakes, typhoons, tsunamis. You have so many volcanoes as well. So a country like this has to be prepared, even though it isn't as bad as it seemed. It has to be prepared at all times and has to have its population ready to fight anything and be prepared to take proper precautions. When you're living in a country like Japan, you just have to be ready for natural disasters. That's gonna be the reality of it. In the case of a big emergency, you are the one who's expected to know where's your nearest evacuation center. You should be able to have your own arrangements as well as be prepared in case you need to have survival food. I made a video about it as well. So I know for a lot of people, especially tourists who come into Japan, they might be frustrated that they were not able to enjoy their holidays because of a day with a typhoon. A lot of things, a lot of businesses are closing. But I think at this point, you have to remember that the lives of the people, the lives of everyone are more important than one day loss of your holidays. We have seen times and times again how Japan has overcome natural disasters, but I think that one of the reasons is because they are pretty well prepared. So yes, it might be a hassle that maybe trains get delayed or canceled. And trust me, if you're a tourist who just lost a day because you couldn't come to this part of Japan, I understand you. This is also the time where a lot of Japanese they have a public holiday. This is called the Obon season. And a lot of Japanese had to cancel their trip, maybe back to Kansai or maybe back to this area. They had to go home, had to cancel their holidays, maybe their stays at their hotels. So it's not only you that come from very far that you just may have lost your trip, but also Japanese here who have been waiting so long, and actually in a season that I think it's pretty important for them. All in all, yes, yesterday maybe it wasn't the best idea to be recording, of course, but at the same time I thought that this was just the right situation where it was still manageable. Of course, if it would have been very dangerous for me, I wouldn't be going out there, obviously. Just to show you a little bit of how things kind of turn into one of these situations. Moreover, there's people that still have to go to work despite all of these conditions. So we have to remember that there's people who have to travel and come from maybe far to still make sure that things are running out. All in all, this is Japan. That's what happens. Natural disasters are part of the daily life, and they're very well prepared. They prepare as if the worst outcome is gonna happen. So it might be hard for you to understand, but I just want you to have this kind of like for reference. That's the kind of country that we are living in. If you're traveling as well, you have to be prepared as well. I think it's the responsibility of everyone. All I can tell you is that from what I saw in the news yesterday, there were some accidents here and there. Not all the convenience stores were operating, still somewhere. I did know that a lot of businesses were also not operating, while others were just waiting to see whether they will or not. The typhoon kind of cleared after, I would say, the evening. It seems like around the very touristic areas like maybe Osaka or Tombori, they seem like they got some people back. So, it seems like it wasn't as bad as expected, but at the same time, it's good to see that, precautions were taken. This was my first typhoon as well, and I guess I'm glad that it wasn't as big or strong as I maybe had thought. Whatever grade 7 means, right? But, it was just one of those experiences. Listen, I haven't had the experience to see a lot of natural disasters like by myself personally. So it can be a little bit scary when you're in one of those situations. But anyways, that's our daily bread here. If you like these kinds of videos, obviously give them a like, share them, with your friends or families, whoever likes Japan. Remember, I also do Instagram, and I'm pretty active over there, so if you want to follow me, just make sure to follow it. I'll leave you the link below as well. If you like this kind of content, definitely consider following me. I would like to make more content for you guys. Excuse me if I've been a little bit absent. It's been a little bit hard to manage all of these things, but I want to make some better videos for you, so better videos hopefully should be coming on your way. Slowly, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, I'll shut up. And yeah, other than that, stay safe. And if you were affected by this, hopefully you get back on track. And, just let's try to learn from these things. And even though they may not seem as bad as they told us, it's for the safety of everyone. Stay safe on your next trip to Japan or wherever you're going. See you in the next one.